So we arrived kind of late on Friday and we've got about 10 minutes of daylight. So unfortunately we just got out of the truck and I just got to think about what I can tell you that you don't already know. And you can see there's a lot of old adobe structures that definitely got wrecked with that last major earthquake. Obviously not something you can inhabit. There's the place that we already have a photo of. I think the news so far is all very positive. I can tell you that the drive out here, all the way from Tauca through Botalcura, and I mean up to the property, it's just really a lovely area. There's nothing that I saw that was bad looking or overdeveloped or anything like that. It was all very pastoral and provincial. I'd say that this is north and that the parcel primarily, for the most part, does not face north. It would face most of the other directions. There's maybe only, it's really hard to say, maybe a few hectares that are going to be flat-ish, and the majority of the parcel is going to be going up this hill to the top of it, over the top of it. I don't know, and I won't know unless we get a local architect to kind of layer the plan with like a Google Maps or something like that, so we can see just how far it goes. But my guess right now is that 90% of the property is in this steep hill, and it's going to be mostly native woods in that area. But just to kind of give you an idea of your view, let me zoom in, and there's really, I don't have anything, bad to say about the view. It's very nice. And yeah, let me cut this off, and I'm going to try to see these water sources before it gets dark. This would be the second area that I've seen that looks like you might want to build a cabin. If you wanted to go a little bit further up, away from the from the road. If you hear I lost my breath, but we were just hiking for the last, I'd say, just 5 minutes from the house. I mean, it wasn't really steep. We had a little adventure where there was, a bunch of neighbors chasing a cow. So that was kind of fun, and you'll see photos from the people chasing them with ropes and horses. So this was the caretaker's house when they used to have a lot of sheep in the area. It looks like it hasn't been used in a very long time. We're approximately half or less up the parcel, and this is, I guess, the third water source. I'm not going to climb back in those bushes right now because it's almost dark. But you can see that there's a small trickle water flow. That's just natural spring flow coming out of the hillside. You can see where they've built it up here to kind of trap it in. And then here goes the hose. And this is obviously further down where it was flowing strongly. There is no real well like I was thinking, where they've drilled a hole and put a pump. There's nothing like that going on. It's just this collected spring water coming out of the mountain. I just drank it. It tasted fine. this is one of the steeper areas. Most of the rest of the property was more rolling hills. There's a steep grade in this little mini valley here. Like I said, very little of the property is actually flat. However, you could also say very little of the property is so steep. This is just a little gorge area back here where the spring's coming out. It's a nice spot though. Nice fresh air. Another flat spot here. We were just on our way to the other side of the property to see the more of thinking about the property boundaries, but thinking this would be another location, not totally flat, but certainly flat enough for a third spot, I'd say. Ideal for building a little cabin. You'd have some work to do to get the road up this far, but it wouldn't be so bad. You might even be able to do it without an excavator, but you know, it would take some work. Another good spot. This would be, I guess, the 5th building spot, and one of the larger. Not flat, semi-flat, and really great. And the breeze is better here. I think this is the best spot so far.
De aquí saquen la foto de la montaña. ¿Usted va a ir adelante o yo?
Sí, no, vamos a... no, sí.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is the... we're leaving what I thought was the best building spot from the top. And I'm going to make this last video coming down, because if you wanted to build up there, then you would probably want to use this bit of road, well, the beginning of a road that evidently somebody's already been using on occasion with a, maybe with a 4-wheel drive, or maybe with the oxes or something. I'm not sure what's making these lines. Las líneas en el suelo, ¿qué creen?
Leña.
Ah,
Leña.
okay. So probably somebody dragging woods limbs out of the interior of the parcel. So we'll just... Do you need an excavator? I don't know. Probably not. That's my guess, but if you had to hire somebody with heavy equipment, maybe maybe you could get it done in 2 or 3 days, and I think that's the most you would need. From what I see so far, is nothing too steep. Well, well, here we go. This gets a little more interesting. But again, there's nothing to say you couldn't just build your house in the flat area. In fact, I think that's what many people would prefer. But just saying, if you wanted to go a little bit further up, this would probably be the way to build. So yeah, now definitely you're looking at up to a week having somebody out here and building your road, and you might have to spend $4,000 or something like that. But again, there's nothing steep. You're not going to need anybody who's blasting dynamite or anything like that. And I'll just keep this going until the batteries die or until we get to the bottom. I think that was a dove or a pheasant. Making me hungry.
Camino. Y aquí la casa.
We're back on the road, next to the road. It's a dirt road. It's only 2.8 kilometers to the paved road, and it's in good condition. You could drive it with any car. You could drive it with a bicycle with no hands. It's just there's nothing rough about it. Again, no reason why you couldn't build in this area.
Ahí se puede cultivar.
See?
Sí, cultivar.
It's been mentioned that they had something going on here. Una huerta?
Sí, huerta.
Either cherries, cerezos.
Cerezo, sí.
¿Y qué más?
Nogales, olivos.
Olives, walnuts, and cherries is what they had going on here, but there was nobody here taking care of it, so they chopped everything down, which is totally
Ciruelos.
normal practice here. And ciruelos, which is plums.
Estos espinos se sacan todos. Queda parejito. Esto nosotros lo cultivamos acá. Sale alta aceituna.
Okay. Yeah, they had olives going on, and I like the seller. Well, I'm thinking to mention it. He makes some pretty good estimates on stuff. For example, he had told me on the phone there's approximately 2 hectares flat, and a lot of people would have really stretched that number. But that's a good conservative estimate of how you define flat, and
aquí cultivar. Huerta.
Yeah, again, he's pointing out this would be another good area to get a little plantation going. I'm going to cut the video and see what we find with these. Here's the house, well, there's that, and then there's this, which looks like you could live in, but take a look. So let's go ahead and make a separate video for the house. And there's electricity. And as you might have guessed, I'm not really a meters guy, but this looks something like 7 by 7, 6 by 6, something like that. Got your semi-updated windows here, like double paned. And the floor and the walls are all particle board. And the ceiling looks dry. It's unfinished. And this looks like front door. And this would be your small office. Office or storage room. Ah, está bien. No te preocupes. Another small room. And I don't know, maybe just bust the walls out. If you're going to use this place, you might want to just, you know, split it and make it a little smaller common space in a bigger bedroom. But oh shit, perdón. I just cut the. Bien, well, the breakers turn right back on. Tested that out alright. So basically, what you have is 3 small bedrooms, or 4 small bedrooms. I'm not sure how they're using it. And that's it. And in the middle, you have the common area, combined kitchen, dining room. Not much else to see. ¿Puede repetir eso? ¿Qué es el problema?
Repite. Repítelo a la cámara, ya. A la cámara, mirando a la cámara.
El único problema de aquí es que necesita reparar el problema del agua.
El programa de agua. Muéstrame, por favor. Exactamente qué es el problema.
Yo no sé, mi papá sabe, pero aquí está. Aquí está, ¿dónde sale el agua?
¿Solo esa? ¿Solo esa nomás?
Parece que algo estorba, pero creo que es imposible repararlo porque con esa espina estorba.
Ah, ok. ¿Y qué pasa con la casa?
Esas 2 casas no las usé porque fueron derrumbadas por el terremoto.
Ok. ¿Los terremotos destruyen muchas casas cerca de aquí o solo esa?
Más casas destruyeron, una por allá cerca, una por allá destruyó, por allá otra destruyó.
¿Qué pasado?
Y aquí hay una cosa guardada. Ahí es el paisaje. Bonito, ¿verdad? ¿Le muestro una cosa más?
Sí, vamos.
Antes había unos cerdos aquí, pero no los comimos. Y aquí creo que esto es una bodega. Aquí guardábamos hartas cosas, pero no se meta esta con caca de ratón.
No, no quiero entrar.
Bueno, eso está permitido porque tiene mal olor. Y aquí habían unas... Pero mire, para el otro lado, pues. Aquí habían un gallinero, pero el zorro se las comió todas. Ay, por cierto, no vaya tan lejos. Yo desconozco estos lugares. Por ahí está la carretera. Mire, por allá más lejos, por ahí más lejito. Ahí está la casa donde ¿Ves esa casita que es media café? Esa la destruyó el terremoto, esa le había dicho. El terremoto destruyó cualquier casa. Impresionante. Y ese ni reportaje.
¿Algo más?
Creo que algo más. Venga.
¿Otros problemas? ¿Otras dudas?
Venga.
Oh. We're just following this kid now, I guess. Sí, qué buena. ¿Son listas?
Lista.
¿Son dulces?
Esas son exquisitas.
¿Y acá? ¿Qué es esa? ¿Vieja árbol?
Un árbol, creo. Sí, un árbol. No sé, pero antes creo que nacían unas frutas, unas frutitas, pero no me acuerdo cómo se llaman. Bueno, pero que sé, eran buenas.
Sí, pero ¿cómo se dicen en español? No recuerdo. En inglés son figs. Fig.
Sí.
Pero no son listos.
Bueno, pero usted...
¿Cómo se dice fig en español? No recuerdo. Era la frutale acá.
Higos.
Ah, ya, higos.
Higos y brevas. Naranjas.
Sí, claro.
Allá también hay otro naranjo. Allá. Adentro, ¿los vio?
Sí, me acuerdo.
Y también estaba esa casa destruida.
Para acá. Casa de ellos.
¿Para la creación de carbón o qué es eso?
Carbón. Carbón.
This is a practice they have here of creating charcoal, where you kind of make a pit, you burn underneath it. I don't know if it, actually I've never seen anybody do that before, so I don't know if that's normal or not. But it's sort of a way of, I guess, conditioning or curing dried wood over whatever.
Venga, eso le interesa mucho.
Uh-huh.
Frutas. Naranjas. Jugo. Muchos.
Ay,
He wants to show us he's got some more orange trees. I didn't even think about asking.
Ey,
Yeah, sí, son muchas.
sí, son hartas. Hartas son.
¿La cosecha está pasada o qué pasa? Usualmente aquí son listas en ¿dónde?
No, sí,
¿Julio? o-
sí, sí, están listas ya porque nosotros no las sacamos.
Sí, entiendo, pero
Ya están
hasta las últimas meses, 2
Sí,
meses.
sí,
Or?
sí,
He
sí.
says they're just
También
sort
hay
of,
limones.
you know, ready. He doesn't. They're usually ready around here, I think, in June and July. But he says whatever. They never pick them.
Cuéntale que el limón está bien.
Time for that. But
¿Y cuánto?
yeah, you could probably pay the electrical bill here for a few months just by
¿No
selling
quiere
that.
ver las demás casas destruidas?
No, gracias.